Let's move into the novice hurdles. This is the opener, the Supreme Novices Hurdle. This is a race that makes you feel great if you get the winner, but you're on the back foot if you back the loser. And it's a very interesting renewal this year. We have Facile Vega at 2-1, Marine Nationale 10-3, and Perry Pass won't go 9-2, 6-1 Ile de Tomps, 7-1 Gaelic Warrior won't go either, 11-1 Tamuris, 12-1 High Definition, 14-1 Bar. Callum, Facile Vega, do you forgive or do you take on?
The market seems to already forgiven him. He was 6-1, now he's 2-1 favourite again. It's as if it never happened. I think he's now ludicrously short for that. I know he's got the wow factor. I know he's meant to be different class. He still could well be, but watching that run over and over again, it doesn't get any better looking at it. This is a horse, it's meant to hit the line quite well. Did that in the Champion Bumper. I know he went a bit fast, but he checked out really, really tamely. He's been sidelined for a week after that. How to turn that around is going to be very, very difficult, I think. It's been 18 years since the horse won the Supreme but didn't finish in the top two last time round. There's a lot going against him here for the nature of this race, the nature of the way he bombed out, and the price as well. I can see why people took a chance at sixes. I'm less inclined now at 2-1, 9-4. So no, he wouldn't be for me. I'd be looking elsewhere. And I think Barry Connell's confidence in Marine Nationale seems pretty significant. He's got a bit to find in the Royal Bond form. The ground should be good to soft in the first 8. It should be reasonable enough. It was soft at Fairyhouse. But I like how horses kind of overcome things that go wrong. He wasn't in the right position there. He got out of trouble that day, and doing so in the Supreme, I think, is a big, big asset. It's the first race of the meeting. Everyone gets overexcited. And I like how this horse just kind of relaxes and goes through the motions quite well. He's a turn of foot. He travels nicely. He jumps soundly. He can get out of trouble. He's comfortable in any position. I think his versatility and what's going on in between the ears impresses me. I mean, things went wrong for Shishkin. Altior had to go out wide. I think their mind was as valuable as a ton of foot, sometimes that day. I don't think he's in that league, but in an open Supreme, where I can see Facile Vega in High Definition like boiling over as well again and going crazy. I just think, he's the one, he's just a really solid one at the top of the market, and I think he's going to constantly drift into a decent price. I think he can go out to 5, 11-2 in the day, and I think he's probably worth a pop. I would be signing with him. The more I look at it, the more sweetly I become on him a little bit.
Right, okay, I'll vote for Marine Nationale. Craig, this is very much an interesting renewal. I mean, 2 months ago, I think Facile Vega was odds on, and now he's 2-1. He isn't that much different to betting, but there's a lot more questions and answers regarding this horse after that last run.
Yeah, we needed that, didn't we, to shake the market up, to shake the race up, because it was all getting a bit boring with Facile Vega. As Callum said, they've just smashed into him in the last couple of days again. 7-4, 2-1. Punters love getting stuck into one in the Supreme, and I think they'll continue to get stuck into Facile Vega. I can see him going off even shorter. So, my advice would be to anybody, if you want to take Facile Vega on, is to wait. You will get offers on enhanced places, and back your horses each way against them as late as possible. I think he can get beat. I don't think he can bounce back from what happened to him at Leopardstown last time. High Definition, maybe made him want to go a little bit faster than he should, but I thought the writing was on the wall for him in terms of 2 miles and his prior run. He got away with it because he's a classy horse. But ideally for me, I think he's at least once 2.5 mile. Q-Vega, his dam, improved as she went up in trip. Was at her best at 3 miles. I just don't think he's a grade 1 horse, Facile Vega, over 2 miles. I think he probably definitely wants a little bit further. The worry with Marine Nationale is it'll be a 100-day break since he won at Fairyhouse. And looking back at the last 10 winners, Altior was the only horse that didn't run that calendar year. And he won at Kempton over the Christmas period. and he was a little bit inexperienced. And obviously, I would describe his jumping at Ferryhouse strong at the end, which is a positive for Cheltenham. But lack of experience would concern me to back a horse at 4-1. It'll attempt Toms. I cannot have a second season novice, particularly a horse that ran in last year's Triumph, winning the Supreme. So, you know, he would be out for me. Tamuris looks a big staying chaser, doesn't he? He wants a little bit of soft ground. Look, the one I've played small each way is Strong Leader, a horse I've liked all year. Again, you know, his best days is going to probably lie over a fence when he goes chasing, but he clocked a really quick time when he won in the entry 2 starts back. They found a soft race to keep him ticking over, to take the keenness away from him so he wasn't too fresh. And I think he's a big price. 33-1 each way, Strong Leader would be a pick. I think the bookmakers will get off to a fly. I think they'll get a result here.
Yeah, I mean, it's looking like Facile Vega's going to get backed off the board, Mark. But again, I keep going back to you. I find you very hard. I think it's hard for you to forgive a horse like that. Surely you're not backing Facile Vega.
No, I'm not backing Facile Vega. I didn't really like his run before. I'm not sure he jumps that quick for a 2-miler. I don't think his jumping's that great for a 2-miler. That was a horrible run, and I can't forgive that sort of run. Not a 2-1, no way. I've backed Chasing Fire at 50s, but I don't think he's quite good enough. Now, you're going to laugh at this selection, but I was quite impressed with Tamuris when he won the Tolworth myself. And the form's actually working out quite well. The 2 horses went to Kelso first and second, and the Me and Lion and Colonel Harry, and they were miles clear of the others. I think that Tolworth's not too bad. Paul Nicholls would like nothing better than to win the first race of the festival after, you know, everything that's been said that he won't get any winners. Now, I'm not a big Paul Nicholls fan, but he's won it with these type of horses before, like Alfarov, and I'm not convinced that the Irish horses are that good. If it came up soft, that would be against Marine Nationale. Now, if you got 5-1 Marine Nationale and good ground, I might back him, but I think I'd go for Tamuris each way. I know it's a strange selection, but I just think he's been underestimated a little bit because everyone wants to back the flashy Irish horses.
The thing with Facile Vega is that last year he was exceptional with the bumper and exceptional after that at Punchestown. But the thing that caught my eye with that is that he was ridden towards the rear of midfield. They have completely changed tactics on him. The fact they've wanted him to make all. See if it came out tomorrow that Patrick Mullins was riding Facile Vega, I'd be happy. I'd actually think that would suit him better, because I think Mullins was spot on. I think they've tried to make this horse a machine, and I don't think anybody can go at that pace and keep that going. Callum's mentioned the ground for a while. I'm starting to come round to that, but I also think a big thing with Facile Vega is that they've tried to make him go from the front, and I don't think he's particularly good at it. Because it is, again, I think he's maybe stamina inclined as well. He's obviously comes from a dam who thrived on stamina. I do think if Facile Vega's back to his best, I think he probably wins, but I can't take him at 2-1. I think that's a ridiculous price coming off a bad run like that. I'm going to take 2 at a price. If Hunter's Yarn goes here, I think he's a good chance at 16-1, but I'm hoping it goes County, because I've got him on that as well. And I like this Dr. Bravo, Gordon Elliott's. I think he would have won the Red Mills if he didn't belt the second last. And he would have beat likes of Sharjah and Faldor. I think 20-1's a big price on him. But Callum, before we get into selections, I'm keen to get your thoughts. And you've been very vocal about Facile Vega on the ground. Do you agree that maybe if they hold him back, it's going to be softer on the first day than it will be the rest of the week, just going from old time's sake? But do you give Facile Vega more of a chance because if they hold him back?
I don't think that's the plan with him. I think they're going to jump out and be fairly handy again with him. I do the soft ground's key. I do think he shapes like he needs further, but it's just the nature of how he bombed out last time. You just can't really go back in at 2-1 at all on the back of that. So I'm just happy to kind of swerve him, but I do hope that he settles and shows a bit of recovery, because you don't want kind of potential stars going that backwards. I hope he kind of runs at least a decent, credible race.
Does anybody have anything at a price apart from the apart from what was suggested, because there's a lot of, I think there's a lot of each way players, likes of High Definition, Diverge. Anybody get anything else to add in this race? Rare Edition, I think, is a horse that's maybe been written off a little bit because of his run in the Sydney Banks. But Charlie Longsdon came out and he was on the verge of pulling them out in that race because he thought the ground was too quick for him. They let him take his chance. The time he clocked at Kempton over Christmas prior to that was, suggested he wasn't far off supreme level with a little bit more progression to come. I think he's a player, and with the enhanced places that are likely to come on offer, it's a race that I want to oppose the front of the market and back some of the bigger priced rags and hopefully get a return. Brilliant. So I'm going to go for Dr. Bravo each way. We'll just go around the panel. Callum?
Marine National at the moment.
Marine National. Craig?
Strong leader each way.
Strong leader each way. And Mark?
Well, Tamuras, but I think Chasing Fire is a decent outsider as well.
Tamuras and Chasing Fire.